Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here today. Good evening. So as we saw the polls just a few minutes back, digital transformation is definitely one area which is on the top of the priority for everyone. Before we start, I just give my perspective on this particular topic. We've been talking about innovations, and innovation primarily is also connected to the technology. We've been all been witness to this entire change that has happened over the decades. Earlier, we all used to call it, in normal layman's language, it was people, process, and technology, which was variedly used by all of us when it used to come for anything that we used to do in projects. My take on this is a bit of different now. I strongly now started believing that technology is preceding in their terminology. This technology is having a transformation for the processes that we used to follow. And that processes now are getting an impactful, I would say impactful experience for the people who are experiencing this technology. And in real sense, it is like technology, process, and people. The way the technology has evolved in our life, of course, has changed our behavior also. Whether it is WhatsApp, whether you are wearing a smart ring, or whatever you are trying to do, it has directly impacted, and we are changing the way technology is changing. So with that topic, I will start specifically in this area with our esteemed panel here. And sir, I will start with Kuldeep Singh first, because you belong to NTPC. And very interestingly, I was reading about it that NTPC has about 25% of total power generation in India. And of course, it is also 70% of total national capacity that you handle. So just want to understand from you, sir, that how are Indian PSUs creating a roadmap to shift from legacy system and modernize their operations through digital transformation, sir?
So, thanks for the question first. So, you have very rightly mentioned that we are a 75 gigawatt plus company as of now. And we are contributing to 25% of the electricity generation in the country as on date. The roadmap is a very specific thing that you have asked about, right? So what I believe that all of these CPSUs as of now in India are at some point, some level, at some stage in this journey, right? What every one of us is doing probably is a little bit differently approaching this problem, but ultimately everybody has to transform. Every enterprise has to do that. So for a general organization, what I would say that there are 3-4 step process. First of all, anybody who is going to do this in a structured manner has to go for an assessment. So first of all, you find the gaps, right? And then you strategize basically how you are going to achieve something that you have to define. So what are your objectives basically, right? And after that assessment, you would be able to see them with much more clarity. You have to define your KPIs, you have to define your metrics. Once you do that, probably you have to be put in a governance structure also. Otherwise, the kind of cross-functional collaboration that you need will not be available at all to push through, all these things. And digital transformation by, design will involve multiple functions, multiple groups, maybe even cross-organizational collaboration would be a requirement. The second thing would be to put a proper foundation in place. So whenever some organization is approaching digital transformation, you'll have to see that what are the things that are needed to be in place, basically. So maybe first of all, you can look at your core infra. So we can talk about ERP, somebody's having SAP, somebody's having something. Okay, the kind of infrastructure, the IT infrastructure also becomes very important. And when I am talking IT, I am talking about the IT part in OT as well as in the business applications, critical business applications or normal business applications that are there. Similarly, with that in place, the cyber security is another area that I would say at least the foundational things needed to be in place. Then the collaboration tool. based on which the teams can collaborate, all those things. So these things can be there. Then after that, in the third stage, now you can move on to your data-driven decision making. For that, you'll have to get all the data that is there. Based on that, how you can use that, you can have AI, you can have ML, you can have several other technologies built in there. And then based on that, you can start deriving the benefits of those things. Fourth stage is when an organization is actually starting investing in your manpower, the workforce basically, the reskilling and upskilling part, which is really important if you want to have your own homegrown talent also to continue the journey. And then after that, probably what we can say that the sustenance and the feedback loop that you need to close. So those are the things, that's how you can create a roadmap for any enterprise. Thank you.
Thanks, Kuldeep ji. Subhash ji, I think you are a very important eminent speaker today because you come from Agriculture Research Statistics Institute. And of course, 70% of all the rural people are dependent on agriculture. That also clearly states that 58% of the employment is by agriculture, under agriculture. Very interestingly, from that perspective, when we see agriculture plays a very important role, and I believe in last 5 to 1 decade actually, the entire technology and way agriculture was looked upon has changed drastically. And I think that's also adding kind of a additional burden possibly for farmers to live up to. How do they take that up, invest into it and move forward. So possibly I would want to hear from you different ways that you are adopting emerging technology which can help us to improve efficiency, reduce cost, and also pave the way for innovation for our farmers or a larger community in agriculture.
Thank you, ET and Digvijaysinh. I think you said very well that India is the agriculture economy, and I am agree upon. I think everybody will be. Everybody in the country, whether it is individual, any organization, public sector or private sector, they are contributing to in the growth. And now, if I talk about the agriculture, so you heard about ICR. It is Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and you will find every corner in the country. There are institutes with their mandates, and also apex body of all the central agriculture universities. So there are some mandates for every organization, whether it is public or government. So they are doing their own best. So our mandate is that agriculture, research and education, and we are so deliver the extension services to a farmer. So it is, I think everybody will be agree, India is the technology adaptive country, no doubt is there, and we are specialized in information technology also, we are leading for that. And you will be surprised that ICR has the witness in computing in 1965 from mainframe computer, which all the area comprised in a single computer, and now we have the supercomputer also. Now, if I talk about the mandate and what we are doing, adopting the technology. So now things is come that in efficiency and in technology transformation and contribution in the growth, there is one term is the real time. I think if we are matching the real time and how we can deliver, so it needs the efficiency, and the main factor is the human efficiency, how we can convert that one. And in agriculture there are variety and diversity. They are not a single type of knowledge and people and contribute. So if I take the example for research, we need enhance the crops, whether it is crops, livestock, fisheries and horticulture, what you can say in the agriculture field. So it need a lot of data and lot of collaboration with that. In earlier or traditional system, if any researcher want to decode the genome, in the traditional system, it will take a year, month, and all time also. And after that time, I think that research may not be valid. So adapting the technology, the supercomputer and GPU, so we implement that. And second thing is that if I talk about the education, in agriculture education, central agriculture universities, the people who are want to study in a particular course and they want to learn about that technology, there is a deficiency in the expert and professor, and you can say. So we adopt the technology in blended learning, and it is the one kind of special you can say technology or collaboration or combination we are providing to all the state agriculture university and central agriculture university, where they can use their physical you can say classroom, and digitally also augmentation and virtual reality, all the technology is there. Because if any student want to go to the farm, it is very difficult. So we are providing the same experience all over the universities. So we are delivering that one. So this is the transformation and efficiency. And second, last thing is that we are also deliver the service to the farmer. And farmer, you know, how we can deliver the services to them, because they do not much, you can say, tech savvy or all these things. So earlier in earlier system, there is a KVK centers, you can say Krishi Vigyan Kendra. Any farmer, it need any expert, whether it is for disease and any crops and whatever according to their area and field. So they go to the KVK center, and it is very limited. But it is spread all over, but it is very difficult to reach everyone there. So what we did, we implement and convert. The concept is that the farmer is reaching to the expert. Now we convert it, we are delivering or we are reaching to the farmer. So how we convert this, we set up the KVK and modernization with the Kisan Sarthi is the helpline, and it is the collaboration with the DIC. And crores of farmer are connected there, and they are getting the information in multi-mode, multimedia, and any language you can say. And second thing is that if any farmer, they need protect their crops. So what they can do, that is the easy way. We develop a multiple, you can say, I think, so mobile apps, multiple web for every crops, every farming area. And one of them I want to submit here using the AI technology. We are talking about that. So there is a one technology and one application we have developed, AI disk, AI intelligent, artificial intelligence, disease, and suppose there is a disease in a crop. So what the farmer has to do, because everybody can take the selfie, they can take the photo. So just they have to take one snap and upload. It will get all the information and all the remedies for there. So these implementing the technology and transformation, implementing the technology. So we are increasing our efficiency and reducing the cost also, because whether it is farmer, they have to reach anywhere, and student and researcher for collaboration is there. So this is our journey.
Right, Subhash, I think the last example that you gave definitely is one of the things which has, is absolutely catching up in India. I'm sure I have also heard so many startup companies focusing on agriculture, and they are bringing in so much of innovation, which is definitely changing the way agriculture is done. To the audience, while you may not have much of an impact that has happened from the agriculture, that is innovation happening in there or in NTPC, but then we today have Mr. Golok Simli. He's the CTO of Passport Seva Kendra, and something that we all have experienced now, the way it has transformed over the decades and the way it has created innovation in their way of delivering services. In my own example, I had applied for what is it called, Tatkal Seva. I go today and tomorrow by evening 6 o'clock I had my passport in my home. So Golok Kumarji, the way you have been actively working to bring innovation, if you can just give us small slide thoughts to our audience about how you are adopting technology, the way it is transforming the services that we are giving to citizens. Of course, one more question there is I understand only maybe 7 or 8% of the total population possibly today has passport, and I think we have long way to look into that area as well.
No, thank you, Mr. Digvijay. Let me at the outset thanks even ETNow, all the panelists here, and definitely the audience. I think very good questions, but passport is maybe one of them. We can quote plethora examples. Maybe if I can take back to all of you to 2 decades back when we started e-governance in India somewhere around 2004-05. And fortunately, as part of that team. So if I look that journey from there and today wherever we are, whether it is a passport is a transformation, whether it is DigiLocker, whether it is Aadhaar, GST, there are a plethora of examples to quote. But I think the crux is, when we are looking for such big transformation, and I should be very vehemently putting here saying that whether it is a PSU, whether it is a agriculture sector, government sector, the idea is when you are looking for such transformation, such holistic impact, cutting across masses. When I say cutting across masses, I always talk about saying that how do you bridge those divides when it comes to demography, geography, economic conditions, education barriers, literacy conditions. And believe me, today if you apply for a passport services, whether, as you rightly said, you apply from Delhi, Mumbai or Chennai, or let's say a remote villager or a farmer seeking a passport services from UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, MP, I don't make any difference. But then how was it possible, right? That is the one which we are discussing. And if I see the global trends per se or India at large, I think I foresee there are 5 digital trends which will save not only the PSU but country at large, and which is not only in India but globally too. And what are those 5 trends? And there we all need to work. The first trend is the AI and machine learning, right? Some of them they spoke about. The second trend is the cloud computing and edge computing, right? That is the second trend we all are going to witness. The third is 5G and beyond. Fourth is definitely data security and data privacy. And fifth one is the blockchain and distributed technology. Now, if you bring all them together to develop a kind of a connected ecosystem to deliver these kind of a mass transformation, I also foresee another 3 trends which is happening globally and within India also. And this doesn't matter, it is a private sector, public sector, government, state government. And what are these 3 trends? There is something we call mobility of workforce and workplace. Today there is no boundary. It's a boundaryless world, right? When you think of a digital, right? I am an individual, but I am also a global citizen. It's like that. The second is, most of the time we have seen an era where most of the data is traveling all the way to compute. But now it is other way. It is compute to data, right? And if I see these 2 paradigm form of harnessing the data for different purposes, again there are 4 pillars of technology which comes to my mind. These are AI, analytics, big data, and distributed technology. Now, whenever we are doing such transformation across various sectors within the government, central government, state department, as I said, or even when we are engaging some industry to develop some business model, for an example, in my Passport Seva program, we have developed a PPP business model, right, where industry is equally playing a role what government is playing the same role, right? But then I'm very careful when I'm dealing with the sovereign data. I'm very careful when I'm dealing with the sovereign kind of a decisions, right? So how do you develop such business model where not only the data privacy, data security is taken care, but also government sensitivity and critically it is also taken care. So that is very important. The other fact is when we are moving towards these directions, now being data security, data privacy, which is going to hit every one of us, and today we have enabled DPDP law, or let's say across the globe, GDPR kind of a law are there. What I also foresee saying that whenever you are harnessing data for various purposes, right from principal owner of the data till its applicability, fiduciary in the picture, and then the entire ecosystem, how do you develop that? So once you do this kind of a holistic, probably planning, designing, execution, things become easier, things, the impact becomes forceful, the scale become mammoth. Today, I think when it comes to passport, as you rightly said, we are hardly 7% of the population, but I stand at number 3rd across the world. Suppose I reach, let's say, 10 to 12% of the population, I stand at number 1. And the way our growth is happening, let's say 10 to 15% per annum, I foresee another 7-8 years we stand at number 1. So in all sense, India, whether we develop a UPIF, we develop a passport services, we are citing example globally. Because this is a global setting example, the kind of variations we are dealing, the kind of scale we are dealing, and the kind of masses, having those many differences in terms of demography, geography, literacy, economic conditions, and so forth. So that's how I put it.
Right,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you very much. I'll take 10 more minutes to organizers because time is very limited and I just had the first round of questions. So when we talk about cloud adoption, Kuldeep ji, I'll just rest that. What's your thoughts on cloud adoption when it comes to PSUs, and do you see that can disrupt or innovate, create innovations for you in that area?
So I would start by saying that, cloud computing is here to stay. PSUs just cannot deny its existence, but it is also a double-edged sword. That's what I will say. Right. There is always a dark side of digital transformation, as I would like to tell people. The thing is that everybody is doing digital transformation, and as Golok ji already told us, there are various technologies. So big data, cloud, IoTs, right, data analytics, blockchain, everything is being put before you. The thing is that what exactly you need, that should be decided on a case-by-case basis rather than going after the use cases, building use cases for the technology. It should be the other way around, that you are actually finding solutions to the actual problems and what is aligning with the vision and mission of your organization. That's how you should go. Coming to the cloud computing for PSUs, what I can say exactly based on this, that this should be decided on case-to-case basis. I do find really good use cases for cloud computing, and in fact NTPC has gone ahead and started.
Any one example that you can share immediately?
So first of all, the collaboration, right? In our digital transformation strategy that we made around 8 years back at that time, digital first was one thing that we have gone ahead with. And the second theme was the virtual office. It was before COVID, basically, what I was talking about. So at that time, the people, all the NTPC employees were working from the desk, from the office themselves. And nobody has thought that there would be a need that people should be working from outside office at any point of time. That is one. The collaboration was very, based on point solutions. There were things where you could do a VC, there were Office that you were using, there were Power BI implementation that were being thought about, right? So what we did, that we have brought all these collaboration technology and integrated them seamlessly. We had, gone ahead and adopted the whole M365. Based on that, the customer satisfaction has shot like anything. And we reap the benefits of this collaboration technology very fortunately during the COVID period. And after that, nobody ever questioned why before that, we have gone to management, and the management buy-in was, I would say, a little difficult. We had to put this. That was one. But there were several things that we did after that. One example, I would say, the integrations, external integrations that we made with our SAP system with third parties. For example, today I have got into Enola, right? And I came here, that was the total cashless transaction. So we did that from the company base, there is nothing. Bomber lorry, again, any kind of flight ticket bookings, everything, employees are having that at their fingertips. Nothing is to be done, no reimbursement requirement for that, because it is being cashlessly paid. You just, you have to just get into that system, right, that's all. So similarly, all those things are there, but again, if you are talking about cloud, we are seeing a lot many problems, security breaches, because of the insecure configurations that are there in the cloud. People are just not going by security by design, security by default. That is also not there, because it has become very easy for anyone to, just go and spin a VM and, just expose everything onto the internet. So we have to go by that side also. Cybersecurity and data privacy and data safety becomes very important, specifically with respect to data localization and data sovereignty requirements.
Correct.
And reasonable security protection of the sensitive data. And PII also. Now DPDP Act also has come into place. We are waiting for the guidelines, but that is another thing that we will have to see. Our IPR, if it is being stored in the cloud, there are any kind of vendor lock-ins that may be there. We have to be very wary of that also.
I think, that's a very important, I think everybody should in this room take that piece of advice very seriously. While there are the advantage of having cloud adoption, but at the same time, you have to be very, very careful that how we are protecting ourselves from foreign actors. I will take another 2 minutes, ma'am. Just allow us another round of, your last points to audience. Subhash ji, if you want to just add something here.
Sir, last conclusion is that because we have transformed the legacy in the transformation, and Simli sir very well said, we are now living in the boundaryless country, and we have lost our physical identity, any organization and itself also. So everything has to convert in the digital. The thing is that we have to ensure our digital identity, whether it is personal or organization, and because we are the custodian of data from any, you can say, stakeholders. So I would say every organization should prioritize their transformation and their security, and I would say there should be a robust framework and compliance and auditing. And second thing is that human and people centric approach must be there. It will be, and it is, and it was. So people should be centric, and there should be a security, you can say cyber security awareness and all these things. And second thing is transformation from legacy to in new system and adopting the technology. So everybody, every organization, they have their own mandate, and they have to customize. Things are there, technology provider, they are providing, policy maker, they are providing the policy, and user, they are using their own. Every organization, every leader, they have to understand how the things we have to pick up and how we have to design.
Thank you, Subhash ji. We are out of time. Golok ji, last remarks.
I think my last piece of advice to all of us, including me maybe, first and foremost thing is, whenever we are leveraging technology, first and prime thing is look for the governance. If governance is not there, you are going wrong. Add into your governance principle the data governance, because data is the crux. Then do not forget something I call rules of engagement, which is your compliances, regulations, and law of the land. If you take these three pillars into whatever you are doing, whether you are adopting cloud, whether you are leveraging any of these emerging technology, I have done that, I have not gone wrong. And at least my experience is that you are likely to avail those opportunities rather facing those challenges. Thank you.
Thank you everyone here. A round of applause for the panelists and speakers here. And over to you, ma'am.